Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got another interesting episode for you guys that you definitely want to stick around for. But before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, we all know that Undisputed is known for having some of probably the most heated sports debates on TV. The topics that usually generate that type of energy on the show are usually topics like, you know, the Lakers versus the Clippers. I remember when that happened, it was a lot, like especially when when the Clippers lost in the Orlando bubble and Shannon Sharpe came on the show to follow it. It was fire. I mean, he was going off. Of course, you had then the Kawhi versus LeBron debates. Then you have the one that always gets the blood boiling is LeBron versus Michael Jordan. And then pretty much anything that is related to Tom Brady. That usually seems to really, you know, stir the pot and get people going. Now, Shannon Sharpe, you know, I've listened to him and Skip Bayless go back and forth with each other. And I've noted that Shannon Sharpe, I think he tends to have something against GOATs of different sports, right? For some reason, he doesn't think Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. He takes little shots at him there. And then, of course, with Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady, I think most consider him to be the best NFL player of all time. And he likes to take shots, shots at these guys. And I've seen him and Skip Bayless get into it in the past. Like, I've seen these guys really go at it. And I think the thing that annoys Shannon is when they argue. I think the thing that annoys Shannon is when he's making his point in his opening salvo, and Skip Bayless cuts him off. Right? If he's talking, like when the moderator asks a question and he starts talking, and then Skip Bayless, like as he's talking, he starts like, chiming in like, he'll be saying his things or whatever. That usually gets Shannon Sharpe upset. I've seen him like, it's my turn. Like, allow me to speak. Well, go ahead. Like I've seen him get pretty angry. And the thing that usually gets Skip Bayless upset is something totally different. I've seen Skip get very, very angry whenever his credibility comes into question, whenever he feels like he's being questioned in some way, shape, or form, like his character. I remember there was an episode where was it Kevin Durant, because Skip Bayless made a tweet trying to relate Kevin Durant to LeBron James, where he was like, Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. LeBron, are you watching? And then KD tweeted at LeBron, Skip Bayless saying, I really don't like this guy. And then Shannon Sharpe said, Skip, why are you even bothering him? He's like, what do you mean? I'm not running. I'm back in. And Skip Bayless got very, very upset about that. So that was one thing. Now, we all know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they lost a game to the Rams, right? I don't really watch the NFL, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, I used to when I was younger. But anyway, so they lost this playoff game. And we all know that Skip Bayless is a huge Tom Brady supporter. So what happened? Everyone knew that coming in on Monday morning's show, it was going to be fireworks. It was because a lot of people wanted to hear, Shannon Sharpe probably get at Skip Bayless, and a lot of people wanted to hear Skip Bayless's reaction to the game and to the back and forth. So yesterday, as I was watching this show, I witnessed something unlike anything I've ever seen on any of those segments that they've done on that show. What happened yesterday was just unbelievable. So before we go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to the exchange between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharpe starts off, and then Skip Bayless looks as if he totally loses his cool. So before we go too far, take a listen to that exchange.
He got outplayed, Skip Bayless. You look at this. All the credit. Fourth quarter, he comes back. So what about through three quarters? Tom Brady was 19 of 37, 204 yards with one interception.
Yeah, and then what happened?
The Bucs they lost. That's what happened. Excuse me, I think I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Bucs only had 3 points until 3 minutes left in the game. Third quarter. Skip, did you realize the Bucs never had a drive with more than 3 first down in all of their drives? Only had 2 drives in which it exceeded 50 yards. Was Tom Brady the quarterback at any point in time during that stretch? I believe he was. So now, the only reason the game got close, Cam Akers fumbled on the 1, Cooper Kupp fumbled, gave him a short field, bad snap after they had stopped Brady on downs, after Von Miller stripped him, and then Cam Akers fumbled again and gave them a short field. Tom Brady, Skip Bayless like to say, well, his QBR was 14. 14. Matthew Stafford quarterback rating was 68. So that's almost 5 times
Now it is my turn. Now it is time for the truth of what happened yesterday, because I saw a completely different game. I guess I got to get a new TV because mine does not work. Okay. What happened yesterday was Tom Brady very nearly pulled off the greatest comeback of his career under the circumstances, because he was playing with one arm tied behind his back. He goes into the game without his right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, and the backup is a 31-year-old journeyman who's bounced around the league, undrafted out of James Madison, playing with a quad injury that turned into an ankle injury, which forced the backup right guard, an undrafted free agent rookie out of Rice, to play right tackle for much of the second half. Are you kidding me? And then let's go to receivers, shall we? Obviously, there's no Chris Godwin and there's no Antonio Brown. When they were healthy and eligible to play, they were the top two targeted receivers for Tom Brady.
They lost to the Rams with those guys.
Then what happened to Bashard Perriman? Remember that game back on December the 12th against those Buffalo Bills? Tom Brady threw a walk-off pass to Bashard Perriman. Did he play yesterday? No, he was inactive with a hamstring pull. Then what happened at Jets on the AB meltdown walk-off game? What happened at the end of that game? Well, there was a walk-off pass thrown by the GOAT to Cyril Grayson, undrafted out of LSU, a track man. Was he eligible to play yesterday? Nope. He was eligible, but he didn't play. He didn't even suit up because he also had a hamstring pull. Tyler Johnson was then forced into the slot. What happened to Tyler Johnson yesterday? He got his ribs cracked and played only about half the game. So the whole second half, they're having to use the backup tight end as their slot receiver in Cameron Brate. And you're telling me Brady got outplayed? Baloney!
He did got outplayed.
It's the biggest bunch of baloney you've ever spewed. Matthew Stafford. Guess what Matthew Stafford had in the second half? It's my turn. Stop it. It is my turn because Matthew Stafford. Oh, that's really funny.
Yes!
Matthew
you still lost, Skip. He lost.
You know what? I think it's my turn. I let you spew all your baloney to start the show. I didn't say a freaking word.
It's over, Skip. He
okay,
lost.
Here we go. It is my turn.
He still lost.
Now, after that, a few thoughts were going through my mind. The first thought was, okay, these guys aren't acting. All right, if anybody saw, because we can't show you the video because we don't own the video, but you can listen to the audio. If anyone saw that segment, Skip Bayless was banging on the table. When Shannon Sharpe was clapping his hands, like he was really trying to what it reminded me of was when two people are about to get into a fight and one guy was like, don't put your hand in my face, and the other guy starts clapping in his face like, what are you gonna do? Like, it looked like Shannon Sharpe was like, bring it on, and Skip Bayless was I thought at one point he was gonna curse during that segment. So that was the first thing, because I said to myself, these guys aren't acting, right? Because sports, for whatever reason, solicits a lot of energy, a lot of passion from people. Like when you see people getting angry, you see people getting into fights after games and, people crying and people like that. Those are real emotions. Sports elicits that. So that's the first thing. And the other thing I thought Skip Bayless was going to go over the edge. I thought he was going to say something he wasn't supposed to say on TV, but he managed to hold it together. And then later on in the show, they were talking about other topics, and they kind of seemed to squash everything, and the show kind of continued on normally. But he got pretty upset. And to be fair, I've seen Shannon Sharpe get just as upset, especially when he's defending LeBron. When he defends LeBron and he really gets into his bag, he can get very, very, very heated. So I just thought that yesterday it was a bit unique. I was like, okay, these guys are really going at, like, Shannon has really found a way to get under his skin. And I know that Skip Bayless on his new show basically said during commercial breaks, he doesn't stay at the desk. He goes to another table. He kind of walks around, gathers his thoughts. So I know they don't really interact with one another. But yesterday's show, man, I said to myself after that first segment, it must have been pretty awkward because it did not look friendly in there. So those are my thoughts. What I want to know from you guys, if you guys saw that exchange, what did you think? And if you're just hearing it for the first time, what do you think about that exchange? Because to me, I just thought it was fireworks. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.